first, like something from the fucking 90s, and I'm gonna just go postal on everybody. And I'm using postal in the sense because that's shit that we used to say in the 90s.
Can you turn your gain down a little bit on your mixer, please?
I sure wish I could.
Or you're coming in a little hot when your rants are reaching peak rant.
This is exactly where I was last week.
Yeah, that's what makes no fucking sense. Like, I don't know, sometimes I'm really quiet to you, sometimes I'm not. Please don't hurt yourself.
Oh, man. That's all I do. Oh. 48-year-old man.
Hurting?
Bad eyes.
Oh.
Gain.
God damn
gain
it.
down.
Oh,
gain
no,
down. Gain down.
You're good. Yeah.
Better?
Well, I need you to rant a little bit. Maybe get
fuck. Shit. I don't know. This is... There's the gain all the way down, so, eat 9 dicks and call it fucking a dozen because I don't care.
All right, cool. You're good. He stopped peeking. Here we go. I gotta get the stream.
Peek at my balls.
Fucking A right. All right, cool. Fuck. Oh, I forgot I had the window open. I'm like, why is there a goddamn bird in here? I did have quite the battle with a fly earlier today.
Can you maybe just I figure you're wearing sweatpants. I don't even understand how you have a fly at this point.
An insect fly.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wearing shorts because it is 70 degrees.
I'm wearing shorts as well because I can't fucking fight with pants. But it was also in the 70s here and is getting to that just on the cusp of, it's going to be miserable soon, right?
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be really bad in your fucking hot ass attic with no air conditioning on a river.
We're gonna have to start recording at 4 a.m. before the sun comes up.
Yeah, exactly. Right when the heat stroke is broken from the night before, like when you're going to bed and it's 110 degrees with no wind, and you're so you're just laying in bed with a shotgun in your mouth. For the cool tasted metal.
Yeesh. Yeah, I mean, before you took it to a really dark place, I thought what we could do is I'll get you at the peak heat of the day.
Yeah.
And then we'll just see what happens when you slowly lose your mind on the internet due to heat exhaustion.
It'll sound much the same.
It could be worse. Could be better.
Could be worse.
Could be a lot of things.
Could be that show I do for Levi, which is just me doing this by myself and trying to figure it all out.
Fuck. It's not that hard.
Well, no, because I'm 48, man, unless I take some sort of special pill.
Roman, or for hymns or something. I heard some ad on a podcast today.
Yeah, I've heard both of those.
Yeah. I mean, you could make it the hardest year of your life. I think that was their tagline.
That's a good tagline.
It is a good one, especially when you're trying to promote boners.
I think I was trying to work in my head, back when I was doing fake ads on Elks Nerds.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks or so, I was just hey, you want me to do an ad? And I'd come up with something that was, I think Roman, I was trying to turn in Namor, which is the Submariner. So it was all about a pill that enhances your ability to go down on somebody.
Does it make your tongue extra slappy or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think too far ahead on it. I just I want to get the excuse the phrase bare bones of an idea.
Fair enough. No, that's good. No, I don't know why I'm thinking so hard on this. So earlier I did a live stream for ACW again, and Bender is I got an idea for a podcast. He goes, it's 15 minutes, and all we do is talk about what we're watching. And I'm I think Corey tried to do that once.
Wasn't that for a couple of years?
Yeah, I'm it ended up being really good. It's just your episodes were 3 hours long, weren't they?
Well, I was on them, so yes.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
So I'm so if you can keep it to 15 minutes, we might have something here.
But it started out, it was Dave and Glenn's show.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it was What We're Watching Weekly, and Gregor and I were both people who sat in on the chats for that, and then they started inviting us onto the show, and then Glenn started having less time because he was doing more and more work at Twit, and Dave kind of backed out when he was doing more and more stuff with Galactic Network, and so it just became me and Gregor, and then we tried to figure out what to make the show later on, And so I came up with the title. It went from What We're Watching Weekly to What Else Is On. And it became part of Else Nerds because we did 2 shows. We did that show. We did a comic show. And I'm like, if we break them up into 2 shows, then they won't be as long. No, fuck. No, they weren't. They were twice as long.
No, you just have 2 really long shows instead of 1.
Yeah. And it was also about the time that I stopped reading comics. I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid. I want to do the show.
Oh. Taco Bell's got some new stuff.
Thank God.
By new stuff, I mean they have the at-home taco bar now. So for $25 and a sodium warning, you get 12 hard shells, 8 tortillas, 6 ounces of nacho chips, 30 ounces of seasoned beef, 6 ounces of beans, 12 ounces of lettuce, 6 ounces of cheese, 3 ounces of tomatoes, 8 ounces of nacho cheese sauce, 5 ounces of reduced fat sour cream for $25.
Damn.
That's actually a really fucking good deal.
Seriously, I've never paid for a heart attack, but I feel like $25 is the good price.
So Beat is here. I was wondering if he was going to make it because we're a little earlier than normal. Since the name of the movie we're going to be talking about this week is Porno, thank you, Corey, and whomever suggested this one. Beat's like, hey, there's no nudity
In Porno.
On us. I just showed him my nipple though.
That's good of you.
Yes.
You're a giver.
Now there's nudity. Okay. There's some bush. I have questions about the bush. It was very thick. It didn't make a ton of sense. But
did you feel it was a merkin?
I think so. I thought it may have just been like black paint. Like I'm really just skipping to the parts I remember because I don't fucking know what was happening at all. There was Heavy Metal Jeff. Beat says demonetized but appreciated. Beat, we have never monetized because of the other times that we've gotten in trouble trying to monetize and getting yelled at.
We broke out into our own station
as a result
from affecting the whole network.
That's because
and I think we still got takedowns for you guys more than once.
Yeah, because that was stemming from a Christmas Horror Story that we got the video pulled down and everyone's ability to stream live for 30 days was banned. And I still to this day don't know why.
No.
There was another one we got pulled down too. I don't remember which one that was. I think Beat probably remembers if he.
Yeah, he was the one who was always dealing with that.
Yeah, he's doing the Lord's work over there.
That's true. What the Lord has been saying all this time is like, what I really want is to get into podcasting.
Oh, he says
and these motherfuckers right here who I want to do a show with.
The Lord wants to model his podcast after us. I feel like I should apologize for that.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't even really know anymore.
I mean, what's he going to do? You know, fucking NPR?
Just eating soda crackers and talking
he's
quietly? He's
already got that market down. He doesn't need that. He needs to branch out.
I don't know what would he branch out to? It would be like an oldies radio station kind of thing. That's what I could see. Like I just picture like this Family Guy cutscene of Jesus like in a DJ booth playing like Inagata-Davida.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what I think of.
Here's a long version that makes you feel like you've just been nailed to a cross.
Oh. I mean, it's true, but he's gonna buy
DJ
Tiger
Stigmata.
Cups. Oh. Did I ever tell you about the DJ name that I had come up with? It's also my porn name. DJ Bonestorm.
What's that?
DJ Bonestorm.
Bonestorm.
Yeah, so I was naming. So there's a threesome. There's 3 people. Like an orgy is 4, and then I said group sex with 5 guys and 1 girl is just called a Bonestorm. So
that's also a '90s Image Comics character. I'm pretty sure.
Is it really?
No.
Damn
but
it!
It really could have been, and is better than some of the '90s Image comic characters that were out there.
I was so sure you weren't lying to me for once.
Yeah, anything that sounds like it could be used in a violent way, you take 2 of those words and you put them together. So there was Stormwatch was a book from Homage Comics, which later became Wildstorm. And then Wildstorm was the name of the universe because of Wildcats and Stormwatch being their 2 main books. Bone, there was definitely tons of things with bone in it. It's not quite up there with Blood or Razor, but It's in there.
So back to Taco Bell, because I don't know if I had told you I made Mexican pizzas at home.
You were going to. Now,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, did I mention this when we talked about this before?
I don't
When
remember.
was a kid,
I drink a lot.
Yes, because fucking at public school, high school, we had Mexican pizzas.
Yep.
They were the
Okay.
octagon shape.
Yep. Yeah. So I did make a Mexican pizza. I made 2 of them. They were fucking goddamn delicious.
Now, I assume they were very different from the ones I had at school.
Yeah. It was like I hesitate to use the term upscale version of a Taco Bell one, but like I used real meat, and I didn't realize the Mexican pizza doesn't even have meat on it. It's just it's shell beans, or whatever, tostada beans, tostada, and then enchilada sauce, cheese, tomatoes, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like a tostada, except maybe double layered to feel more like a pizza-esque thing.
Yeah. So I mixed the beef with the refried beans and did that in the middle, and then did kind of the same top with tomatoes and shit, onions, because I like onions.
So we've had a pretty taco-heavy weekend here because we had ground beef in the fridge, and we're just going off of what we have because the Meyer has been sold out of chicken consistently. Like the last time I went, which was a week or 2 ago, they had chicken breast, and it was the organic kind, and it was $13 essentially for a little over a pound.
Fuck,
like
man.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's bad.
And then today, no chicken at all. I think there was like one package of chicken legs, maybe, but otherwise, unless you were going in the frozen section, there was no fresh chicken at all at the Myers. So, but we had ground beef, and I was just like, well, fucking midnight on Friday, I'm making tacos.
I saw that.
Taco meat.
Like what a bad idea.
What a terrific idea is how you spell that.
Okay,
And
half an hour after you ate it, was it still a terrific idea?
yes.
Okay.
Because then I completely passed out. But an hour later, I was laying there watching TV with Gidge, and I'm like, I think my eyes are telling me it's time to go to fucking bed right now. So I put on my mask, and I woke up choking a little bit because fucking regurgitation shit coming up. But whatever, it was fine.
Jesus.
It was not as bad as it could have been. But then the next day, of course, I had leftover taco meat, and Erin wanted quesadilla, which she has refried beans on. So I heated up the refried beans. And on hers, she had olives, which I find grotesque. They're like mushrooms of a lesser evil.
Satan's asshole.
Right. And then I had taco meat mixed in with my refried beans on my quesadilla. And I made 2, and I got through 1.5, and I was at that point of like, I could force my way through this other half of this quesadilla, or I can tell it to fuck off. And I told it to fuck off. But then I fell asleep because that's what tacos do. Like everything else, any kind of physical exertion, which includes digestion, makes me want to fall asleep. I took a nap for a couple hours, and I woke up and I saw that other 2 pieces of the quesadilla sitting there. I'm like, God damn it, that sounds really good right now. But I didn't do that, so I last night at about 11 o'clock, I had microwave burritos. So it's just been one big fart storm, which is not a bone storm.
Nope.
It's like if the bones were mystical as opposed to physical. But it's been bad. It's been bad here.
Yeah. So I have a taco kit because Tuesday is obviously Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a good reason. But Alyssa found it's basically like a big pan Crunchwrap Supreme. So I'm going to try that next week, and I found some fajita or taco shells, soft taco shells she could eat. And then it's just onions and peppers and chicken with seasoning, and then you like make a base in a like a casserole dish. I don't know what normal people call it, casserole dishes, but here it's
I think that's right.
Yeah, they're whatever the fuck. But then you layer the shit in there, and then you do like a layer of chips, and then more shit, and then seal it up, and then put another pan on top, and then bake it.
Ooh.
And
so it gets crisp on both sides because the other pan heats up?
Yep. I want to say there's cheese in there somewhere. If not, I'm going to be putting cheese in there somewhere. But then it's like, dip it in sour cream or some shit. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll make that.
I don't know what's going into these chocolate chip cookies, but I know there's going to be cheese in there because...
Yes, now there's always cheese in everything.
Yeah.
So
That's been
basically,
the other joy of my weekend is all that Mexican food with the bindage. It's good times. Good times. So yeah, so today I didn't want to have tacos, but I still had leftover ground beef,
yeah.
and so I cooked up just ground beef like it was taco meat, except without the taco seasonings. I just did pepper and salt and garlic and onion powder, and cook that up, and then put it in taco shells. Except instead of using sour cream, I used mayo inside the shells and cheese. So, Gringo taco.
Sounds pretty fucking good, though.
It is not bad. You know, it's more like a wrap, but it's pretty good.
Well, as long as you like it, I think that's what matters.
I do, but it's too much fucking beef. And then I went to the store, couldn't find chicken, so Aaron's making steak for dinner.
Oh, there's no. I mean, it's gonna clear you out. A lot of red meat really just gets
Eventually.
Everything cooking.
Yeah.
In my world, at least. Yeah, I don't know. We've been going to a butcher. I've been going to a butcher. So like my mom is like so convinced that they're gonna run out of meat everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like they haven't said, like, there's still a shitload of everything. So I guess we'll wait and see. But I know they started shutting down meat plants here because there was one not far, has linked like 200 cases to that one meat packing plant.
Yeah,
So that's terrible.
that is not good.
No, that's not good at all. So I think if stuff like that continues to happen, you may see a meat shortage. But I don't know the inner workings. I don't know enough to say yes or no.
I know Tyson was saying that they were going to hit shortages because of conditions and stuff that were going on. But I don't know. When I think Tyson, I think of the frozen section.
chicken.
I don't
Yeah,
think of like go grab and go fresh chicken, which is another thing that pisses me off because being out here, I can't find the Tyson bourbon chicken in the frozen section. I don't
what?
have it at either of my stores. Yeah, in California, one of the Tyson frozen selections is a bourbon chicken. It's really, really good. My best friend Ann got me hooked on that when she was living with us for a while, and can't find it out here. There's a good number of things I can't find out here. There's other stuff I can find here that I couldn't find in California, so it's a trade off. But man,
Yeah.
that's one of the ones I miss. So I'm going through all these different tries at frozen Chinese food style stuff, mostly orange chicken.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm trying each of the different kinds that I see, and today they had a lot of different types, so I picked up 2 different ones because that's what I find I'm missing the most right now is Chinese food, and normally that is something that I would want to eat all the time anyways, but we got on a regular round for a while at my work of going out to the all you can eat Chinese buffet, and they're 2 pretty good buffets in our area out there, and so we were hitting those about once a week or so. And since we started the new building, they've served food in the place. We've only gone once or twice. But now that I can't go, that's all I can think about.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Brad called me. I just got to text him quick. So, do you want to start talking about porno?
Well, first, I want to ask, what's scaring you this week, Matt? We haven't done this in a while.
I don't
And
know.
I'm going to stop you there because if it's not these fucking monster wasps that are...
Oh,
now
fuck. I forgot about the murder wasps.
Yeah.
I will let you... All I saw was some picture and that they are in the United States, but I feel like that's probably what's scaring you?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I don't know a lot of information. I don't need anything else. You show me a picture of a wasp itself, and then you say, and now there's this new superhuman wasp that's coming out, like Wasp Man or something. I don't fucking know. Like just no. That's a lot of no in my life that I don't need. And again, I live on a fucking river. We have a yard now, so I've given up the urban lifestyle, which wasn't quite, but it was pretty close, the suburban at least, in California for a much more, kind of like, not exactly farmland. We're still in the city here, but we're surrounded by so much land that is farmland that it's a different world for us, and it's a lot more bugs and a lot more things. I had another mouse situation this last week that I've had to deal with. It's never fun. So I don't want this in my life, and I'm sure that we're like the perfect target for it. We've had a couple of wasp nests since we moved out here, between either there was one giant one that was attached to our house when we first got here that we managed to clear out when it got cold enough. And then there was some that were living in our clothesline because now we have, a clothesline in our yard.
Well, how do they live in a clothesline? A clothesline's usually just a fucking. Is it?
Well,
is
not
it
on the line itself, but in the poles that hold.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Lines.
But yeah, so it's like the hollow poles.
Yep.
I remember those. Fuck those things. We had them in our propane tank. The cap that goes over, like the gauge and shit. They had built a nest in there.
Yeah.
So that was fucking cool.
I know that when I lived in Canton, Michigan, my stepdad's grill, I think, got a wasp nest in it one time, and he's like, "Well, that's the stupidest thing you can do," and just turn the grill on.
Yeah, you gotta let it burn off though before you start cooking food.
Yeah.
Or don't. I don't know. Maybe you just want like a wasp leg on your meat.
I don't want anything near my meat. My meat's got enough problems. But I did have to humanely rescue and release another mouse this week, which we were doing the Christmas when we first got here, like the week of Christmas. I caught 3 mice in these humane traps, and like 3 times that night drove out to the wooded area to release them to get them away from my house.
Yeah.
And so we found last week, another one had been making its way in. And the last time I went and I released all these mice, 2 days later, Bean showed up in our backyard. And so that's when we got our cat. So I'm just like shitting myself. Like, we don't need another fucking cat. Please don't bless me for being nice to animals by giving me another fucking cat who's an asshole.
Beat asked if the killer wasps are related to killer bees they've announced for 4 decades. It's a murder hornet is its real name. I think the killer bees are like South African bees that can swarm and kill you. I guess the murder hornet can kill a human in just one fucking sting. And they're also massive.
Could the murder hornets just be like the new modern day killer bees tag team duo?
Maybe. This is what's going to start taking down bits and pieces of the country. I feel like with the way everything is going, maybe we just never go outside anymore. Everything's just indoors.
Everything is telling us to just stay the fuck inside.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure where in the U.S. the murder hornet was spotted. It sounds gigantic, so you may be able to see that fucker coming and get out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, look, it's one of those Amazon drones delivering my packet. Nope,
that's
murder
not hornet.
It's at all.
Yeah. Well, I believe so. It sounds like they kill bees.
Yes.
And I think that is part of the problem.
Bees that are already having enough shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we'd like to do with our yard is start planting things to make bee habitats more available to encourage them. I also want to get a bat house and put it on the side of the house or the garage because I've wanted a bat house for a long time, but here is a place where we could really take advantage of that. And because fucking mosquitoes are also trying to murder us in America. They're talking about it more this year. There's everything nature is trying to destroy mankind, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, nature. I'm almost on your side, but I know it's detrimental to my own well-being, but fuck, what am I doing with my life? I ate too many tacos this week. So we know I'm not long for this world.
I made the mistake of starting to read an article about these things. It says the hornet primarily attacks insects, but will direct their aggression towards people if they're threatened. Quarter-inch stingers, which can penetrate beekeeping suits, deploy a venom potent enough to dissolve human flesh. Beatmaster says, "Are you sure they aren't wasp that reside in Florida?" It's not the band Wasp. I understand. I got before his Killer Bees was I think that's Anthrax, right? It was an Anthrax album, Attack of the Killer Bees. I think that's what he was referencing there, because that would have come out around 1980. I feel like if there was only a place I could go to ask all of these questions.
Yeah, I don't know that Blackie Lawless is coming over to your neighborhood and starting shit.
Oh, never mind. Attack of the Killer Bees came out June 25th, 1991, which would have been 29 years ago.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit later for Anthrax because it was post I'm the Man.
I was never like a huge Anthrax fan, so
When I was in high school, in my graphics class, which was a 3-hour block for vocational, I took it the last 2 years I was in high school. We had a radio that we would listen to our own tapes and stuff on, and so somebody used to bring in Anthrax. One of the girls would bring it in and play that sometimes. And there was one time that I decided I was going to bring in music, and it was Stryper. And I didn't make a lot of friends that year.
Whatever. I don't care for Joey Belladonna's vocals, so I think that's why I never got into Anthrax.
You got really wonky on the sound for a second.
Oh, I said I do not care for Joey Belladonna's vocals, and I think that's why I never got into Anthrax, because it's more of hair metal than like thrash metal.
Yeah, what I remember was they were kind of mixing rap with metal at that point.
Yeah, I think the most I've ever been exposed to them knowingly was in Married with Children.
Yes, and Scotty Ian you see like all the time. He's recognizable. He pops up and stuff. He was on some reality show on VH1 where they put together a new rock gods band. It was him and Sebastian Bach, Ted Nugent. I think the bassist was from Biohazard.
Supergroup, and I think you're thinking of
and Jason Bonham.
Evan Seinfeld, who ended up marrying Tara Patrick and doing porn.
Yes, I remember he kept talking about he was dating Tara Patrick, or he was married to Tara Patrick. He kept calling her America's sweetheart, and I'm like, I don't know that's what she is.
I do.
She seems very nice.
I like her a lot. I'm not even like a big Asian guy, but I really like Tara Patrick.
I'm afraid I couldn't pick her out of a lineup, but which is probably something that's happened. But I just know that in the context of the show, that he was very proud of being with Tara Patrick, and I was like, I'm very for both of you.
Very proud that we have turned a show about a movie called Porno into talking about a porno actress.
Right. Which, honestly, the Taco Bell segment is essentially porno as it is.
What the hell? God dang it. I forgot I tested out this fucking bot. And I don't know if you're watching the chat, but I think because Beatmaster's the only person that posted, because it's probably just him, the fucking bot
just attacked him.
Just deleted all of his messages.
Just came at him like a monster wasp.
Damn it. I know. I was like, what the fuck? Beatmaster. What did you... Ugh.
And it's called Nightbot, which is a pretty cool fucking name, and should be an image character in the 90s.
And you know what? I was even going to message Beat, because you can give people the ability to be like admins for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they said they're still here on YouTube. Okay, good. So I was going to give him that because he's obviously helped me police certain situations.
Yeah.
I guess no better time to do it than while we're recording an episode.
You're going to stick him on Erica, though, aren't you, you dick?
No, maybe. Probably. Now I got to remember where this was. This is what happens. I get like a bug up my ass. I do something, and then I completely forget about it. And here we are.
Bug up your ass is exactly what I'm afraid of. But
it's because you posted a link. Sorry. That's it. Yeah. Because he posted that big link to like a news article about the killer bees and stuff. Stop posting links. He got a warning.
Yeah, if there's one thing Google really hates is the sharing of links. It makes total fucking sense that they would police their own fucking site to say, don't post links that go through Google and help show ads and everything else. Please don't do that on our fucking Google-owned site. What fucking morons created the internet?
That is one way to handle that.
I guess they preferred that you search.
Weird. And so that's weird. So I just have a YouTube chat pop out.
Me too.
The link works and Nightbot is used for Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that it deleted it for me. He says he still sees it. Yeah, I found it through Streamlabs because I was trying to fuck around with stuff for this show and then the ECW stuff I was doing. And then I realized that a lot of that Streamlabs stuff is focused for... I started drooling a little bit, but it's focused for one person who's streaming video games and doesn't have someone remotely. Like, that's what all that shit is aiming towards. So I don't really... The fuck was that?
That's somebody driving down my street.
Yeah, that person's having a good time. And yes, you're right. For once, it's not YouTube's fault. Is it advanced settings? Nope.
Be a lot cooler if it was called Night Boat, though.
Speaking of, did you watch the new Fantasy Island yet?
No, I've not.
I was curious if it's any good.
I can't imagine that it's fantastic, but it's probably adequate.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, it might be
It's
better.
one of those just bizarre ideas of like, let's take this franchise thing that's existed a number of times, honestly, and turn it into a horror thing that has almost nothing to do with the original franchise. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because it's a name, and let's use the name and just make it do this thing. Like it the first instinct was, it sounded like when they would take a movie or a trailer for a movie and they'd recut it to make it like a horror film, like they've done with Home Alone, and it's, which is already a fucking horror movie if I have to sit through that bullshit. But it's that's what it sounded like it was, and somebody said, "Well, what if we just fucking did it?" You know.
Yeah.
We're Blumhouse. We could throw $1 million at this and make it work, and people will go fucking see it because we've lowered the expectations so far as to what a horror movie should be. And I'm saying that's not seeing it, so it could be very good. I don't know, but I saw the previews for it, and I didn't have a lot of interest.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably something we're gonna end up watching.
No, I'm sure we will.
Who knows? It's. I don't know if you saw that, but that gives you a list of the Nightbot commands. I forgot we had this the last time we did a stream, and nothing happened. But Beatmaster, you are our top chatter. Thank you.
Yes.
The recent time I'll post the links. All right, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to. This is like a good time to do this, right?
Yeah, right in the middle of a show.
Yeah, well, we've been at it for about a half an hour, so I feel like
This is where we have our intermission of our brains that stop functioning.
this is usually about the time we actually start talking about the movie.
Yeah, you actually. It's funny because you tried to start talking about it early.
No, I'm.
That's the porno pre-cum. Hey, so Matt asked me to find a movie to watch.
Yeah, what a fucking regret.
Well, I had this on my Plex for a little bit because a guy that I work with had hit me up recently and it's like, "Have you ever seen Porno?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I've seen Porno once or twice in my day." He's like, "No, this movie, it's called Porno." I'm like, "All right," and I didn't want to say, "How did you find this?"
Yeah.
But he apparently hadn't seen it either, but something about it perked his ears up, and he was like, "Well, this sounds interesting. You guys should do it on the show." I'm like, "I don't know that we are going to do that on the show." And then I thought about it. I'm like, "We're totally going to do that on the show."
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
And but it was one of those. It's one of those great moments where we go in kind of sight unseen, didn't know anything about it, didn't have any expectations of it, so it's just, here's this weird flick. It turns out that it was produced by Fangoria and Shudder. I don't know if it's on the Shudder service right now, but it's a pretty recent film, and it hit through Sundance. Sundance had something to do with it coming out too. I saw that in the credits, so I thought, well, that's weird, but okay.
It's just such a weird fucking movie.
It is a weird movie. So let's talk about some firsts for the show. This is the first movie that I think we've ever reviewed and that I've ever seen in my life that opens up with "Give It to Me, Daddy" is the first legible line of dialogue.
Yeah.
And then there'll be some other firsts that we'll talk about in this. So, yeah, Matt, I want to speak to you because while we don't talk about it a lot, you're more religious than I am.
Yeah.
And this is a movie about a bunch of Christian youths that work in a movie theater that is not a Christian movie theater because it happens. You have to kind of figure this out for yourself. But it happens in 1992 because it's got two movies that it's playing at that point in time. They're Encino Man and A League of Their Own. And I wondered if they were like, oh, it's just playing old movies. But no, they are recent films. We find in the context of the film. So all this is, not my era, like a little bit past my run of being their age doing this kind of thing, but not far past it, and maybe a little before yours. Like, how old were you in 92?
7.
Yeah, so before yours.
Yeah.
Fucking young kids. And but they work at this movie theater. The manager, owner of the theater is very Christian minister-esque. The projectionist, who Matt's already mentioned, is Heavy Metal Jeff.
Heavy Metal Jeff!
Who doesn't actually listen to heavy metal, and he doesn't understand why anybody would call him that.
He just has long hair.
Yeah,
Not even. Did he even really have long hair?
Not terribly long. 90s
so.
long, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
Or late 90s long. I had longer hair than that in the 90s. He is he's suffered substance addiction. We find out he was addicted to cigarettes, and so he found salvation in Christ. And so it's 4 kids that work there. One of them, Todd, I think, got in trouble for peeping on some woman through her bathroom window, and so he's been in big trouble and is trying to like get things turned around. I don't remember the other guy's name, who's Todd's friend, but we find out in a very Breakfast Club type scene that he's actually the one who caused Todd to get caught. It was his idea to go spy on the woman, and Todd took the heat for it. There's Ricky, who is the jockish boy that we over time find went to a camp to get him to stop being gay. And there's Chastity.
If there is anything I have ever learned, it's that you must pray the gay away.
Yeah, exactly. Always works really well.
Yeah, 100% of the time. It works every time.
And then there's Chastity, who's the assistant manager at the theater, who has a huge crush on Ricky, but also turned him in for being gay to the manager of the theater, who had him go to the camp and fucked up his entire life.
Yes.
So that's a group. Essentially 5 dudes and a girl. One of the dudes is... It felt very Breakfast Club.
Do you
like it just
understand what 5 dudes and a girl is? It's a bone storm!
I love you so much, Ray.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, so the movie is basically the kids do a good job handling the theater during the day, and the manager's like, hey, you guys did really good today. You can stay after and watch whichever movie you want to watch. And 2 of the dudes want to see Encino Man. Chastity and Ricky... Well, Chastity wants to watch A League of Their Own. She doesn't want to see Encino Man. I can't fucking blame her.
Encino Man is a fucking great movie. You take that back.
It's the first movie with Brendan Fraser, and I like him a lot.
Yeah.
What was the hit song for that movie? Was that You're Invited But Your Friends Can't Come with Vince Neil? I believe that's...
I'm going to look it up, I guess.
So it was
yeah,
right
you're right.
Vince Neil got kicked out of Motley Crue. And, yeah, anyway. But instead, some old dude is kicking around the theater, drunk and kind of vagrantly, and they're trying to push him out of the place, and he takes off, but in doing so, he exposes this doorway behind a curtain that's been boarded up that none of them ever seen before. So this is my first suspension of disbelief that's challenged, is that there's a red curtain in this theater that's out in the open view of essentially everybody who walks through there, and no one's ever looked behind this curtain of these several people who work there that probably have to vacuum and sweep up and do all this stuff every night. They've never moved that curtain once to see this giant boarded up doorway that's there. Like, not one time. No one steam cleaned the curtains or anything. I get that we're just trying to create a challenge for them. Like, oh, well, here's a secret passageway to go in and find shit that you're not supposed to find. Very Cabins of the Woods or whatever. But it was weird. They do go into the doorway. It takes them down to this basement that nobody knew was there. They find a bunch of old films and old books and other weird stuff, and they bring one up to watch it, and it turns out to be what they say and what they kind of figure is a porno.
Yeah. I love
Matt.
Porno. What?
You're our aficionado. We're going to label you the porno expert for the podcast of terror.
I've dabbled once or twice.
I say that because Erica's not here.
Yeah. And if you say her name 3 times, she might show up.
Right. Watching what this movie is inside the other movie, the thing that they find, is this what you would call a porno?
No, not at all. I expected to see...
Even by 92 standards, is this a porno at all?
No, I expected to see at least one P and V, a money shot.
Which we do. We don't see the money shot.
No, I mean...
So we get full frontal of the one woman in the film.
Some weird bush.
There's some dudes. Yeah, that's another first. I think that might be our first Merkin.
It was expertly groomed. It was a triangle.
Yeah, it was
upside down triangle.
But it was not really right, and it didn't feel 92 accurate. From what I remember, and we've already established I didn't get a lot of play in 92, but whatever.
Yeah, me neither. It's all right. It was a dry year for both of us.
Yeah. You were 7, you dick.
Hey, man, it's not a false statement.
Yeah. And then there are several guys, but they're all dressed in like cloaks and stuff, and they're doing some weird, essentially satanic ritual. I don't understand how these kids can look at this, not recognize as a porno, because it wasn't like 92 was innocent times or anything.
Right.
I believe we're in the era of Alanis Morissette. I think we're really close to that. I know we've made it through all of our metal years. I know this has got to be a small town thing, and they're sheltered kids to a certain degree. But 92, you weren't that sheltered. MTV had existed for a good 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a weird, again, suspension of disbelief that they see this and like, oh, it's an art film with tits. and then a bunch of the dudes are there and they're doing some ceremony around the woman. I can get that the guys are all looking at it and just like looking at the woman and thinking, yeah, this is great. But it's very like, if you're so hardcore Christian that you're all 4 of you Christians working for this Christian theater owner, and one of you has just gotten sent to conversion camp, you might recognize what looks like the trappings of a satanic ritual. Like, I don't know what version of Catholicism, Christianity, Baptist, Southern Baptist, Pentecostal, whatever the fuck you are, the satanic ritual thing seems to stand out in this movie far more than porno, because there's not anybody actually having sex in it.
Yeah, but do you think that they just named it that to try and like shock people into watching it?
Well, absolutely, the movie's called Porno because, yeah, but the kids still keep, and even the older guy who's fought off his addiction to cigarettes,
right,
is calling it a porno, and it. I can understand what is the term. Like, if I don't know what porn is, but I recognize it when I see it. I think that was a statement that some asshat in the Senate or something said around that time. I can't tell you what porn is, but I know it when I see it. It's like, how hard you looking, buddy? But there's tits up on the screen, and these are kids. Like, one of them was saying, "Hey, Madonna was in that sex book." Obviously she's going to get naked in a league of their own.
Right.
There's a locker room scene.
Huh.
That was a little weird. But they do watch the movie, and then it's essentially, we'd recently watched what is it, the sorority girls in the slime ball Bowl-O-Rama?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in a bowling alley. So it's people in a place find something that they shouldn't, and opens up and a demon comes out and starts shit.
Yeah.
That is the basic plot of the movie. What makes this one interesting is the fact that it's this whole Christianity angle of all these characters. But it's a trope. It's a TV trope, I think, is the site that does that.
Yeah,
it's not a bad trope. It's not a poorly used trope.
No, it is what it is. And I don't know. For a movie named Porno, I expected a lot more.
Well,
in terms of like an actual porno, like you said.
Right, and yeah, or this was. It definitely looks closer to a snuff film, at the very least. Which again, doesn't seem like it would be out of line for teenagers in 1992 or the older heavy metal Jeff to know what a snuff film is. Just in context, just the term. Like, I've heard of it. I haven't seen a bunch of them, but I would probably know looking at one, or assume looking at one, like, oh, this might be a snuff film because now this woman's covered in blood.
Right.
And not from banging.
No, someone did rip a dick off, though.
Right.
It was one of the few things I remember from this movie.
And that is something that I definitely want to go over with you. Is that all of this movie plays like the characters are pretty innocent. Other than seeing some nudity, overall, it's a pretty tame film, except for a couple of key things.
Yeah.
So let's try to go with them in order. The woman comes out of the movie. Chastity does read up on the fact that she appears to be a succubus, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. And it's trying to seduce each of the different people. It tries to seduce Todd, the little ginger kid. She tries to seduce Chastity by looking like Ricky, the baseball player, without a shirt and everything else. So she can mask her image to different people to seduce them. But at some point, they all go and lock themselves into the manager's office while they were looking for the keys because they can't get out of the front door, which is, again, Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama. And they open up a cabinet because he had said to Chastity that there was a gun in there. And they're like, well, let's get a gun and we can shoot this crazy bitch and get out of here. But when they do so, they don't find a gun. What they find is a bunch of VHS tapes and a VHS camera that one of them starts looking through and going, oh, that's not good. We can't look at this. This is private. And then Chastity looks at it, just like, oh. And then Ricky insists that they hook it up to the TV so that they can all see it. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that the manager has been taping women in the bathroom through a little peephole that's in the office to the women's restroom. And that guy is fucked up. Yeah. Really fucked up.
Yeah. Doesn't he get shot in the head and then she stands up and just has a dick in her hand? And it's presumably
well, yeah. So he shows up and she, the succubus, shows up and seduces him. And we see the camera is now pointed back in the people and they're all watching it live as it's happening. And he just starts taking off his pants to have sex with her. But then he bends forward over the toilet, and we don't see her. She's behind him. I'm not sure. Matt, you can tell me the different categories of Pornhub off the top of your head.
All of them?
You've done it.
I read them. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know that.
What do you think she's doing to this guy?
I don't really know. Shaft play, maybe.
What is that?
Shaft play? I don't know. I just made it up. Technically, all pornography is shaft play.
Yeah, I guess so. So she's behind him. We don't see her, but we do see her hand kind of reach up in front of him from behind or from between his legs or something. And she rips off his penis.
Yeah, he had it coming.
He probably was trying to.
Oh,
but we get a pretty how do I say? I was going to say a pretty solid visual of the thing. We see his dick.
yeah.
I don't even think it's the first dick we've seen. I think they show later, like after the first initial viewing of the movie, they stop it and they try to go back and start watching again. One of the kids is like, I think this is our film. We're going to keep watching this. And he locks himself in the projection room, and it goes further along, and we see full frontal of some dude in that. So we've now seen 2 dicks.
2 dicks, 1 bush.
Yeah, but in case you haven't had your fill, there is another scene that happens, and it's probably the most amazing part of the movie for me. Is Heavy Metal Jeff goes to find Todd because Todd's not in the room with everybody else. They all go out to try to rescue the manager because he's still alive. He just had his dick ripped off. But then they're also trying to find Todd. They can't find Todd. So Jeff is like, you guys go back in the room, wait for me. I'm going to find Todd and save him. And the succubus comes up and starts enticing Heavy Metal Jeff. Now, one of the things that the manager says to Heavy Metal Jeff early in the film is CBTL, which is Christ bears the load. So when you're struggling with something, when you're having problems being strong enough to, and your will's kind of weak and everything, you just say Christ bears the load, CBTL.
Yep.
And so he's saying Christ bears the load as she is essentially giving him a mental, spiritual hand job.
Yep.
And so he's sort of grunting out Christ bears the load, but at the point where he's going to say load, his God, this is what a wonderful episode this is. If we ever had an explicit tag needed, this is not going to make it on YouTube. So right when he goes to say, God damn it, his balls explode, which is
naturally.
Okay. Again, and this was foreshadowed. The ball explosion was foreshadowed. He mentioned earlier his dad had seen somebody's balls exploded in Nam.
I think most people in Nam have seen exploding balls.
Yeah. Or in actual pornos.
That too.
At any rate.
That's just busted nuts. Thank you. I'll be here.
I watched all of Letterkenny this week while I was working from home. So there's an episode all about nut that is that's a difficult episode too. Anyway, so Chastity and Rick and the other, I can never remember the other guy's name. They come out and they see Heavy Metal Jeff has had his balls exploded, and Ricky is like, I worked with the nurse at in the baseball team. I know what to do. We have to get a tourniquet on this, and Jeff is like, well, don't you think this is a bad idea because you're a homosexual? And Ricky's like, do you think that I get off looking at your exploded nuts? Do you think that's how being gay works? I love that line.
Yeah.
Because it really did need to be said. But also, we get a really... God, how do you fucking say these terms? We get a long scene with seeing Heavy Metal Jeff's exploded testicles and what is still his penis. We see a lot of dick in this. We see a lot of, just for no other reason that we call the movie porno, we see a lot of dick in this movie.
Yeah, the dick to nipple ratio is pretty bad.
We see the same woman naked a lot.
Right,
and
but
so
that's just one set of tits.
It is one set of tits and the merkin.
Oh, God,
I'm assuming the merkin. I don't know.
Trim it.
Italian. Anyway, there is a lot of it. It just becomes so casual that you don't think too much about it.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while she'll pop up and she'll reveal her tit, and it's like, but we everybody's seen that tit a lot so far, so not saying you're not grateful to see the same breasts over and over again.
Oh no, but yeah,
yeah,
porno.
but the amount of time and focus spent on dong in this is quite delightful.
Yeah.
It is not something that we've seen a lot of in other movies. And this scene in particular was like, well, I have never in my life imagined that I was going to have to go do a review of a movie on my podcast where I would have a casual chat about exploded testicles and a long loving look at that
Yet here,
that defeated penis.
Yet here,
Like, it made me feel better about the time that I had a catheter removed, which was just like, you think you feel bad about yourself some days. Nothing compares to the bad that you feel seeing your penis look like a World War II vet, just all slumped over and drippy, and like just something being drawn out of it. I'm just going for it now. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I might
And
as well.
it's bad. This was like that, except fictional.
Old drippy dick.
The old drippy dick.
I think that's a sexually transmitted disease, but I'm not a
College
doctor.
nickname. That's
Old drippy dick.
probably COVID-23.
Hey guys,
Anyway.
old drippy dick is here.
It was my favorite Filmation animated character.
Oh,
Old drippy dick.
Old drippy dick. You know the party starts when old drippy dick shows up.
That's true. And ends.
Oh,
It goes from party to pity real fast.
Beatmaster lost his boner.
Well, there's a lot of losing boners in this, so you're in good company, Beat.
Physically and spiritually.
Like, I never try to make a joke about Beatmaster's name, but right now, fuck. Anyway,
Yep, that's a pretty easy one because he jerks off a lot. You know what? Maybe someone out there wasn't entirely sure where we were going, so I just wanted to
define a lot.
Yeah. Not too much, but a lot. So whatever that number is to you, that's it.
There was another episode of Letterkenny. I really liked watching all of Letterkenny this week. 8 seasons. They're short, but
It's a good fucking show.
quite wonderful. It is a great show.
Yeah.
But there was the episode where the guys are sitting around, they're talking about some challenge. Like, they talked about No Nut November.
Yep. Beat your dick December.
Beat your dick December. And the idea of, like, masturbating once for the first day, twice on the second day, 3 times on the third day, and so on. And how far can you go along to make it? And trying to do it was like the scene in I think the end of the first season of Silicon Valley when they're trying to talk about how,
Dick to floor.
yeah, like how long would it take to jerk off all these different people, and like, and you jerk off, do it once, and they start doing the math, the engineering math. I worked with engineers at the time, and it turned out to be a subject of conversation at lunch at work, which is just terrific.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Makes sense.
I wish I could bring up exploding balls and like, now that I work for a medical company, like, try to figure out what a tourniquet would actually do for that situation.
Yeah.
Like, where do you tie it?
I don't know. At the base.
Wouldn't you need some sort of, like, what is it, zip ties?
Oh,
like
like
a regular rope
like
is going to do it. Like a shoelace is going to help.
You're gonna need extreme measures to stop this bleeding.
I mean, it brings up a different. I mean, it pulled me up by my bootstraps, but I don't know. Would a cock ring work? Because then at least you're cutting off the blood flow from getting away from the penis.
Well, it depends on if you have enough shaft left to attach a cock ring to.
Depends are probably a good idea at that point, because that will at least keep some of the blood clotted.
Well,
You'd have to put them on backwards, though, right?
So what? Okay, so what happens if you don't have a dick and it hasn't clotted, and then you become aroused, which I do not think is actually possible. But do you then start shooting more blood out?
That's a good point. Do you shoot out blood
for a
normally?
friend. No, no. But you know what I'm saying. Normally, blood would rush to the area of arousal.
Yeah.
So would you just squirt blood out of your former dick place?
would the geyser suddenly be a red shower as opposed to a white Christmas?
Oh,
I don't know.
just use some super glue.
Thank you for going down this road with me, though.
Well, fuck it. Why not?
Fuck it. Why not? That should be the title of the episode, because we can't call it after the movie, but we could probably get away with calling it "Fuck It, Why Not."
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
We should just change the name of the show completely to that.
To Fuck It, Why. Welcome to episode 186 of Fuck It, Why Not.
Beatmaster's absolutely right. Duct tape.
Duct tape will
That's
fix
one of those
anything.
things. MacGyver taught us well. Like, if your balls explode, duct tape. And a paperclip, because you got to involve the paperclip.
Well, you need the paperclip to make his dynamite.
If it was today, MacGyver would be sponsored by Staples. I know there's actually a MacGyver show now.
I was going to say, I thought they brought MacGyver back.
Well, they brought a MacGyver back.
Well,
It's like a Magnum PI back, but it's not Magnum PI.
No, not enough mustache.
And CBS actually has access to Tom Selleck because he's on their Blue Blood show.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Also, former guest Annie Chang.
Yes.
Never watched it, Blue Bloods, but yeah. The paperclip would be the prosthesis. That is prosthesis.
The prostate?
I don't know. He's using school words on me. Fuck out of here.
Oh, I know. He's talking about using the paperclip as like a splint.
Oh. Oof. Yeah. Oof.
Hey, there's still this movie to talk about.
Fuck, do we have to?
I don't know. We kind of revealed. Oh, Jesus Christ!
What?
We've kind of said most of what this movie is got. The characters, poor Todd gets turned demon-esque. So Heavy Metal Jeff and other guy whose name I still don't fucking know that guy's name. Doesn't matter.
I really should just look it up, but
right. I don't. What does it matter? They go and jump into the portal to hell to rescue Todd. And Chastity and Ricky stay back, and they try to figure out how to counter the whole summoning of the succubus.
it is really difficult to Google porno.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna abandon this mission.
Just go on IMDb.
Ooh, that is a much better idea.
Yes. Friends, if you're wondering where to find this film, don't Google it.
Yeah, don't do that. So what's the guy? Who are we looking for? There's Burly Man, Abe, Chaz, Woman, Lilith, Mr. Pike, Lord Beekman, Todd, Ricky, and Heavy Metal Jeff.
I guess Abe?
He doesn't have a picture, so I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
Unless
Unless Abe's the guy who runs the theater.
There's a movie called Ghost Bros?
Yes.
How did I not know about this? I like how you just stopped talking. Like I'm. Oh, he did mean prosthesis. Okay, sorry. So yeah, Splinter, you're right. All right.
I still say it's prostathis. So
Ghost Bros.
Ricky and Chastity. Chastity has gone through some of the books and stuff in the basement to find out more about. I assume she's called Lilith, right? The succubus is, I think, named Lilith, although I don't know they ever name her in the movie. But it just makes sense.
Yeah.
You call it succubus Lilith. And she finds that there are certain, based off of what the old dude who showed up and like also had removed his own penis. Thankfully, I don't think we saw that one. I don't remember. But there were instruments used to summon her, and they can also be used to unsummon her. So while she's gone away to hell, and Todd's there, and Todd's now possessed and trying to go after Abe, maybe, and Jeff.
Abe Froman?
Yeah.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
The Sausage-less King at this point. No, wait.
Oh.
He retains. They're trying to cast a spell to bring the succubus back so that they can kill her with the sacred knife that they have. and these sacred gongs. I don't know. To do this, Ricky has to set himself up to be seduced. So one of the things, I guess, is that she's here for virgin blood. It just happens that conveniently in 1992 she finds the 4 existing virgins in all the lands because they're all good little Christian kids, and they really never, like, other than being gay and being perverted, they are all like trying to be good little Christian kids. They're not faking for anybody else. They're experimenting because they're teenagers and their hormones are all out of whack and everything, but they're not bad kids at all, and they never change that out. But so Ricky strips down, does a little dance, which is very cute, does a little dance and strips to kind of like entice the succubus to show up. Now, we don't see what form the succubus takes, but we do see Ricky going hard and heavy at whatever it is that she is showing herself to be to him. And he is basically just banging the succubus. But if he unloads that thing that Christ takes for you, he's going to have a bad time. Either, testicles explode, penis gets ripped off, something happens, something bad, or he becomes possessed like Todd did, maybe. But he's really into it, and Chastity's like, "Hey, Ricky, you gotta stop now." And he's like, "Just give me a minute. And she's like, "But Ricky, you really need to stop now." He's like, "Just one more second. Just one more." Probably the most authentic moment in the movie. Okay, no, it's good. I can control this. No, I'm not gonna. I'll pull out. Just. So Chastity like stops it, and Ricky essentially stabs the succubus through the face with the knife. I'm trying to understand because it wasn't completely clear. Does Jeff get his testicles back by the end of this? Because Jeff is still pretty spry, all things considered. And it seemed like when he went to hell, he was healed up. Or are his balls still gone?
No, I feel like when you go back, when you go to hell, you get your balls back.
That seems fair. It seems like if all the bad things that go down in hell, we should give you your testicles back, because really that's where a lot of sin comes from. Original sin. I mean, obviously, comes from the balls.
Oh. Actually,
Wouldn't have it otherwise.
Comes from women.
No. I'm not going down that road.
Just biblically that the woman didn't listen. That's all I'm saying.
So they defeat the succubus. They all show back up in the theater. They break their way out of the door, which they wouldn't have done earlier because it screws up their jobs. And then they walk out. Now, Abe Froman has to carry the burden of keeping the film safe so that nobody else accidentally releases Lilith, which obviously leaves us open for a sequel.
Yeah, I feel like that was certainly something that they had set this up. This came out in 2019, right?
Yeah. It was released in 2019. Let's try that again. It came out in... Yes, it was 2019.
It was...
But I think it was filmed a little while before that.
No. It's not released for 5 more days. It comes out May 8th, 2020.
Wow.
We're from the future. That's how we saw it early.
Maybe we'll put the podcast out.
Nope.
Late. No, we'll just.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna.
We've done this before. I feel like we did this way back in the day. We saw some movie.
Clown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. But it was filmed in 2019, and I think it had some like festival type release in 2019.
Yeah, I saw some stuff about the release coming up through one of the actors' posts, and they said, "Oh yeah, we filmed this a little while ago, and it's coming out now or soon or something."
Yeah.
But I'd still assume that was from 2019. Yeah, so they all just kind of like leave and they go home, which for a film called Porno, kind of an anticlimactic ending.
Right. There was no money shot. I left very unfulfilled.
Yep. My holes were barren.
Yeah, they were not filled.
No load was taken by my Christ.
Oh.
When you see only 3 sets of footprints in the sand.
Oh no.
That's Christ carrying you with his massive dick. Dragging behind.
Well, according to Beatmaster, we've milked this on long enough.
Wow, god damn it.
Oh.
You know what's fun, Matt? Our rating system is going to ask if you want to actively fuck this movie.
Yeah, no.
No?
No. I'm sure this is a big shocker, but I have chosen to murder this movie twice. You know what? In the spirit of the movie, I'm going to rip its dick off.
I think that in the context, you killing it is still possibly a sexual act. Are you drinking old fashions?
I am, actually.
You beautiful human.
I had a couple during the ACW thing, and then I made another one for this. But I didn't want to, make a pint glass full, because I'm like, that's very Wisconsin. But I chose, I'm like, I'll just have one and be one and done. But now I'm just getting the bottoms, and there's cherries in the bottom of my glass. God, where's Nightbot when I need it so I can fucking block Erica's stupid ass mouth?
Oh, shit.
Well, she came here just to say that I suck, so... Sucks to suck. Let's go to Nightbot. God damn it. All right, Corey, what are you going to rate this movie?
You know what? I honestly... It's not a great film, but there was some fun times had watching it, and not as much of it about banging. I think it was just... It cracked me up. There was enough times in this where I just laughed my ass off of like, really, that's what you're fucking doing? Or really, that's what you're saying? Or this is how we're gonna spend this scene? Is we're just gonna go hardcore looking at the exploded balls? I'm impressed. Like, not impressed enough to love it, but I think it's one of those delightful afternoons of fucking, like where you're just doing it to sort of not just pass the time, but just to kind of enjoy each other's company, and you're not super into it so much as just like, yeah, but this is just a good time. You know, I remember those days, a long time ago. But I'm fucking this movie.
I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Trying to write a fun command in Nightbot. Let's see if this works.
Are you trying to automatically block Erica?
No. Come on. Don't let me down, Nightbot. Damn it! Try to cut a fucking corner. Fucking
Matt?
try that. What?
Oh shit! You did it.
She's trying to spam. She's trying to spam it, and that's what Nightbot is blocking it. I just set the command to be. I can't set the alias of the command to be. Oh God! I just wanted Nightbot to tell her to eat a dick. That's all I wanted to do.
I think Nightbot should automatically block you from talking to Nightbot.
I mean,
Nightbot has its own anti-Matt Stein admin in place.
Yeah, so because she was trying to spam stuff, it shut her up for 5 seconds. This is great. Add her to the regulars. Beat it. Even if I I need your YouTube URL to add regulars. That it appears that is what the problem is. But I really just wanted to block her. What the fuck was that command?
Why would you block one of the 4 people who ever actually come to visit us?
Just to prove that I have the power.
But you don't.
No, I really don't.
You've actually proven quite the opposite.
Shut up.
You're talking to Beat like you just got caught with your dick in your hand of like, I don't know what to fucking
do. Can I have a minute? How'd you see the link? What links are blocked? Beat, I saw the link pop up right before Nightbot blocked it, and then if you go into the Nightbot interface, it says that there is a held comment. So there's it's a recent timeout. I forgot Nightbot by default. If you send a message in all caps, times you out.
You know, I can't even feel bad that this is how we're spending the last couple minutes of the show.
Because, amazing.
How we spent the whole show is already its own fucking mess.
Yeah, it's a good time.
there's one person that I know has occasionally listened to our program who I deeply respect, and that's Nicole Davis. And I just, if she's made it this far into this episode, I want to apologize.
Yeah, we're probably long overdue for some weird Korean subtitled film, though.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah, just saying. But she has to get to the end of the episode to hear that, to then tell me to then be invited on.
Yeah.
Or I just ask her.
Or she has an open invitation.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that too, but it
fucking rules.
Yeah, no, I fucking agree. Do I have to pick a movie next week? Is that where that was headed? And then I just got.
You can. I have options.
What are your options?
If you ever trust me again.
I mean, we've both picked some real turds in our time, so this is just kind of the way. This is the way the buffalo.
So, way back, I think before we even started doing the podcast, but we were talking about we were going to do the podcast.
Okay.
I think it was the first time that you gave me a login to watch films that you had.
Okay.
And you mentioned a movie that I don't think, as I recall, we ever actually reviewed.
Okay.
And when we were talking about the Blair Witch last week, I thought about this movie, and I had tried to remember what it was for a long time because I thought it was pretty interesting, but I don't remember a lot of it now. And that was The Den.
Oh. I know we've never done it on here, but I don't remember.
I just remember that you were the one who introduced me to it. I watched it. I was like, holy shit.
Gary Yap told us about it.
That makes sense. Because it seemed like a Gary Yap kind of thing, too.
Yeah, because...
didn't do it.
No. It's very similar to Unfriended, but I think this came out first. Yeah, I'm down to do it. I remember really liking that movie. Yeah,
I remember being pretty impressed with it for what it was, and since we've done the found footage thing a couple of times, are you itching your balls?
No, I was scratching my arm using my desk. I didn't realize what that looked like when I started doing it.
You don't have to lie to
me. No, this is a ball scratch. This is an arm scratch. Fucking shut up, Corey.
I can't pull my elbow out far enough to be able to really reach my ball. Anyway.
What? Is that big?
So that was a suggestion.
We can do that.
If we're going to come up with something on there. Otherwise, we can.
No, we can. That's fine.
We can fight our way through it.
Nope, let's do that one.
But it's going to be. It's a little different because it's something that we've both actually seen.
Yeah.
And the concept of knowing each other. It's like our movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's going to do it for another episode of Podcast Terror. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, don't fuck strange things, people.
Oh, wait. Is there anything you wanted to push? Never mind.
Stop.
Well, yeah. We'll
stop recording right there.
Okay.
That was perfect.
Is there anything you wanted to push? All right. After I said, "Is there anything you wanted to push?" I'm just going to stop it there.
Yep.
Okay. Oh man. We're a shit show.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
If there's ever we don't have enough subscribers to get a mass unsubscribe, but boy, would we deserve it for this one.
It's
or anything to plug.
Yeah. It's just not a good movie. And I
had fun with it though.
I feel bad disliking something that someone suggests. Like, regardless of if they know it's going to be bad, or if there's very low expectations for it, but I always still feel bad when someone suggests something and then it sucks. Yeah, Ashley, I have to save the show, and because it's still kind of early, I'll probably just sit here and do it as we're on air. So, unless Corey's got somewhere to go. Not going to tell him how to live his life. But yeah, so what I was saying is anytime anyone suggests something, I feel bad if it sucks. Or I think it sucks.
I don't feel bad if the movie's terrible, but we still have a good time talking about it.
No, that's true.
Because that's what the show is if it was just about movies that we like, it would be a very different podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to just shit on stuff either.
No, fuck no.
That to me is not enjoyable, but I think the honest reactions of like, it could be this, whatever.
Right. It was just, I don't know, man. It was such an odd movie, and
it was an odd movie.
Yeah.
That's just it. It was weird. It was totally bizarre. The context of Matt and Corey watch a porno is itself like, what the fuck is this episode going to be about?
George Prophecy 2. I don't know if I've ever even heard of Prophecy 2.
Yeah, we talked about the Prophecy 2 when we talked about Prophecy 1. Yeah.
Why do I not?
So we're like 4 prophecies.
Oh, that's Prophecy is the Christopher Walken? Yeah. Okay, never mind. I have not seen Prophecy 2 yet. I mean, I feel like this is coming. Hopefully not.
That should have been the end of the show right there.
That's fine. It's fine. I don't even know what fucking picture to put for this movie.
Just put down the logo for Triple X.
The Vin Diesel movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a Triple X thing.
Well, that's also a slippery slope of Googling.
You're right. No, I'm kidding.
No, I just did Vin Diesel Triple X, and I think I found the fucking perfect picture. It's like him in a fucking big furry coat.
That is what he wore in the movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh shit! Well, that's got to go on your list for.
I think so.
Fast
Yeah,
and Furious.
I think it's gonna be. I think that's certainly it's gonna be done. I feel like we're gonna have just a shitload of accidental downloads of this episode because everyone's gonna think it's a porno.
Wow, SEO finally working for the podcast of terror.
Right. Although I don't know who's gonna be like, I'm gonna look up some porno. Let me download this 1 hour long podcast. Hopefully,
I'll be sure to play it for my stepdad so I can listen to him complain about Jack swearing again.
Oh man. Well, Jack's not here to swear. Although
I'm going to tell him that every time he hears the word fuck or dick, that it's going to that was Jack.
Every time we say fuck or dick, the episode speeds up.
Yeah.
Does that work? Because that's not. We could do that.
That's like that's like tossing a banana peel in Mario Kart.
It's fucking useless.
I don't know why.
I mean,
where I head went.
Yeah, it's fine. You can just get to the end quicker. That's all that you're really doing for yourself.
Fair. It's fair. I'm so glad we did this.
I'm indifferent.
I'm so glad that I do a show with you where we can do this.
There's that. I don't. Fuck, man. SEO analysis. Focus key phrase. Porno. Just a big fucking red frowny
porno.
face shows up. Oh, man.
The title should be The Hardest Movie to Review. And put hardest in quotes. Also, you have to put in Christianity as one of the SEOs.
I just said we actually talked about a movie called Porno. This is not a joke or a drill. This is the hardest movie to review. No joke.
Yep.
Plus Christians.
Oh, and hashtag CBTL.
CBTL. There you go, bud. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He bears that load. Our biggest release yet.
All right.
I'm fucking 10. I'm 10 years old.
All right. So for the show so what I read you before was the Google description.
All right.
For the show description, it says, sometimes Corey picks movies and they're really bad. This is no exception to the rule. Join us for our hardest episode to cover on our biggest release yet. Hashtag CBTL.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's just an hour of dick jokes. You know what? Every once in a while, you just gotta take a step back, and you won't see it coming.
Yep.
Oh, the old surprise bukkake.
It's the bukkake you don't see coming that gets you.
Yeah, right. Fucking. Oh, wow.
Drops keep falling
fucking.
on my
Fuck. Fucking allergies are killing me.
Oh yeah, I take this sinus headache medicine,
Ooh.
and I took some before I came up here, along with my tension headache medicine, because the combination, it really makes it sweet.
Yeah.
Our bathroom sink has been draining incredibly slow. I asked Aaron to get something for me to clean it out.
Ooh.
But so there's this little bit of toothpaste crud that's right at the drain hole. This is also fun conversation.
Fucking.
And,
How is everything?
I accidentally, when I was trying to pop out the pills, one of them hit the sink, fell in the toothpaste crud. And I'm like, my headache is so bad, I don't want to fucking open another one. I'll just rinse it off. And I rinsed it off as best I could, but it was still like 90% toothpaste that I just fucking. I'm like, this is just awful. This is the state of my fucking day. And I'm just gonna sit on top of undigested taco meat.
Oh man, how much? If you had to put a poundage to your taco meat, how much was it?
Well, since I'm the one who ate it, I cooked half of the package. Woof. So it was about a little over a pound, but I had tacos that night, like 3 tacos, and then I had leftover taco meat the next day for the quesadillas, and I didn't eat all of that. So
You mean quesadillas?
yeah.
Sorry. No? All right.
Yeah, no, I agreed. But then, of course, I followed it up by having, later on that night, 4 microwave bean burritos. Mini ones. They're small.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. I really like the shitty breakfast burritos, or like the El Monterey. Are they El Monterey? I believe. Yeah, those
Yeah, I
breakfast
think these
burritos
are El
really
Monterey
good, dude.
microwave burritos that are just regular burritos, but I think it's the same group.
Yeah. Oh man, maybe I should fucking.
So Erin used to get breakfast burritos from her coffee place out in Michigan. Sorry, not in Michigan. That's where we live now. In California, and she hasn't found breakfast burritos that she likes here. So she made a huge batch of them and froze a bunch of them a couple weeks ago, and they turned out pretty good for her, I guess. She liked it.
So, you're not eating them at all?
I don't really enjoy breakfast burritos. Mexican food is one of those things, like, I'm really particular. Like, I don't want egg in it, and I don't like salsa, so it's not like I'm really going to dress up the egg thing anyways. I was really against chicken Mexican food for a long time, except for fajitas.
What the fuck? I'm so unhappy with you.
I know. I'm a basic bitch.
I like food. Why is
I like food too, but I'm so fucking random in how I'm particular. I eat crap, but I eat specific crap.
Yeah, sorry,
It's like my Lipton iced tea thing.
looking at breakfast burritos at Walmart for my grocery pickup. Trying to figure out why a 12-pack of egg, sausage, and cheese burritos are $11, but an 8-pack of egg, potato, bacon, and cheese breakfast. Oh, it's a breakfast wrap instead of a burrito. $4. Yeah, Ashley, go get fucking Taco Bell. Taco Bell's never a bad idea.
And I don't really care for pineapple on pizza, but I don't mind it having been on the pizza. And then if I take it off, having that little taste of pineapple to it without the pineapple itself, I can handle that. It's like teriyaki burgers. Ooh. I'll order it with the pineapple on it, but then I'll take the pineapple slice off just to get that little hit hint of the pineapple flavor.
See, I'm not like a big pineapple person to begin with.
Me either.
So, and I don't really like pineapple on. I think pineapple on pizza is kind of a waste.
I don't care what it tastes like. You just suck it. That's what I know.
Fair enough. But I also, I had this conversation Binder and I just had about pineapple on pizza, and I'm like, I'm not like a good judge. Like ham and sauerkraut is probably my favorite pizza of all time.
Sauerkraut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't handle sauerkraut.
So when I worked I like sauerkraut a lot, but when I worked at the pizza place in high school, they had a ham and sauerkraut pizza on the buffet, and I would always eat it. Like, because anytime the buffet was over, we would just bring all the pizzas in back, and then everyone would just eat it and take home the leftovers. And I always went after the ham and sauerkraut doggies. I was also smoking a lot of weed. Shocker that those two go hand in hand.
Odds.
Yeah. Just fucking, I love sauerkraut. To this day, I like sauerkraut.
Yeah, I'm not. Sauerkraut isn't for me. The whole kielbasa and sauerkraut thing I always had a problem with, because kielbasa itself is like sausage never sat well in my stomach growing up. Like, I can handle sausage patties a little bit now, like on a croissant sandwich, but that's a pretty mild sausage.
Yeah.
Or sausage in gravy for biscuits and gravy. Fuck yes.
So you don't have problems with sausage in biscuits and gravy, but on a sandwich,
because the gravy kind of brings it,
mellows it out,
backs it up a little bit,
brings it back down to reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Chicken cheese, habanero, mayo, jalapenos, and pineapple. Ugh.
Shit.
I was on board until the fucking pineapples came into play.
But you know what I do love? A couple of Chinese food places that I've had back in California did pineapple fried rice.
Oh, I bet that's good.
That is incredible.
Like the saltiness from the soy sauce and shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually like a chicken fried rice with pineapple in it, but big chunks of pineapple in the fried rice, fucking amazing.
Yeah, I made, please don't die. I smoked pork chops yesterday, and you basically I cubed it, and then cauliflower, like riced cauliflower, and then a jalapeno and an onion and barbecue sauce, and made like barbecue fried rice.
That sounds good.
It was, I was pretty pleasantly surprised myself.
You like fried rice?
Me too.
God damn it.
Did I tell you there's a Thai place here that makes a pad Thai burrito? Did I tell you about this?
No.
It's literally just an order of pad Thai rolled up into a giant rice paper like a burrito. It's so fucking good.
There was a wrap place across the freeway from where I worked before I worked at Best Buy at Stored Knowledge, and they did chicken teriyaki wrap, and God, that was just beautiful.
Yeah, I really here's my thing is I love pad Thai. I think it's great, but I think it's like going to like it's like the basic bitch item to get on a Thai or Vietnamese menu, because it's just I don't think it's adventurous. So that's why,
which is absolutely true, because when we went to the Thai places, that's all I would ever get was chicken pad Thai.
But it's great. I think it's so good. But I also, being like, I like to eat other shit, so that's why I always felt bad ordering it, because I'd even like there's been a lot of times where I'll go there and I make the guy order for me. I'm just like he's like, he asks me how hungry I am, how spicy I want, what kind of meat I want, and then he'll make a decision for me.
You also do the same thing with strip clubs.
Oh man, I don't know why. Like, I'm not a big strip club person, but every once in a while I'm like, man,
I know exactly why I'm not a big strip club person.
I feel like you had some encounters.
I've had a couple, but I don't. It just makes me uncomfortable. Of course, it was always the intention. Like when my friends would want to go to the strip club, like, oh yeah, we got to take Corey and make him really uncomfortable.
Oh, did I ever tell you about the time we took JR for his 21st birthday?
Mm-mm.
We got him a lap dance because it was his birthday, and the girl was lapping his dancing his lap, and he just yells, "Think of your mother." And then he had to go outside and call his girlfriend to apologize.
Because he thought of his mother?
No, because he felt bad and thought she was going to be upset because he went to a strip club.
Do they throw dollar bills at me? I don't want to talk about that one right now.
Oh, come on!
No. So, all right.
I mean, you don't have to.
I have.
I'm not going to strong arm you into this.
When I was like 15 and fat, so not when I was 16 and got thin and kind of good looking for a little bit. I was part of a group that stripped at my uncle's wedding.
What?
Yeah.
How? Okay.
And there's a video of that somewhere. That's bad news.
Bears?
Yeah. And then, well, I mean, I wasn't as hairy then, but I probably could have gotten some. And then my 21st birthday, when I was designated driver, I think I told you this before, my uncle and his then girlfriend took me from bar to bar. So I had to drive them while they got drunk. And then we wound up at a gay bar called Promenades. And it happened to be their first time doing live entertainment, which was male strippers. So there is a very, very pretty picture of me with two
I've seen this.
90s pictures,
Yep.
90s dudes, like look straight out of WWE.
Yep.
Male strippers, all bronzed and gorgeous and leaning into me with their huge cocks. Like, and my uncle's telling the guy, he's like, "Hey, it's his 21st birthday today," and the stripper leans into my ear and goes, "Happy birthday," and I'm like, "I'm not a virgin now," and
Your
yeah,
ears were penetrated.
but at my friend's bachelor party, they got a stripper to come to the house, and with a giant ass bouncer, which is good.
Yeah.
We were not a rowdy group at all, but we're
still,
a bunch of drunk dudes. You bring that fucking bouncer, and I support that.
Yeah.
And so she did the thing, and then people got the options of getting lap dances, and all of my friends were just really gonna, like, they were gonna throw money into a pot to have Corey get a lap dance, and I'm like, why in the fuck would I want that in front of all you assholes as it is? Like, just
There's
in
that.
general, like, this is, man, like, so I don't have a lot of experience with strippers or at strip clubs as it is. It's never been something that I wanted to go to, but the couple of things, it's like, no, this is exactly why I would not be into this. It's like, all my friends are dicks.
Yeah, it's just fucking
Dudes.
weird. Very weird.
Oh, and also, I should go back. In my more attractive years, my friend used to get me drunk to the point where I would lose all consciousness, but still keep run around drunk, and convinced me that if I didn't do a strip show for everybody, that they would be sad. And so there have been a few times when I've taken off my clothes that I was not aware of.
That happens. Can't say
That happened more times than I know.
Eesh.
Because I just basically asked him and all my other friends, please don't ever tell me about this.
Yet you know about it, Sue.
I know about it because it was the first thing of like, oh yeah, you know. So there was a song that used to trigger me wanting to strip that I've worked past.
Is it Goodbye Horses?
No, it was Ladies' Night. Which is the song that John Lovitz sings in The Wedding Singer.
We might be done here.
We should be.
I'm just waiting to make sure that the episode...
Beatmaster, I don't have a stripper name, but I do have a name and persona picked out if I ever do drag.
Huh. What is it?
It would be Ms. Tawdry Horn.
Why?
Because of Audrey Horn from Twin Peaks. And I would like to dance to There Are Worse Things I Could Do, which is the song Stockard Channing sings as Rizzo in Grease.
Huh.
I would love to do a karaoke rendition of that. It full on Harvey, who's the Torch Song Trilogy guy? Was it Harvey? I don't remember his name, unfortunately. He's also Mrs. Doubtfire. But anyways, do that voice singing. He's got that raspy voice. Yeah. Ms.
Harvey
Tawdry Horn. I was very
Firestein?
happy. Huh?
Harvey Firestein?
Yes, that's probably it. Have you ever seen Torch Song Trilogy?
No, sorry. I also dumped a bunch of cherries and shit into my mouth right before I talked.
Giggity. It's a sweet but very sad movie.
I'll pass.
Not my favorite gay movie, though. My favorite movie, about gay men. It was Steven with
Steven Tyler.
Was that the name? Jeffrey. It was called Jeffrey. It was Steven Weber from Wings, Patrick Stewart. Trying to remember what else. That's a really cute movie. The dance scene in that is awesome.
Huh. We have to watch.
I would
that.
highly recommend that movie. Levi, it was not Born to Be Alive. I don't know why that song gets stuck in my head so much. Shit. That's the kind of thing you don't need.
Now it's stuck in your. Now it's stuck in your brain.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Could be
Erin
worse.
keeps getting the theme to Arthur stuck in her head. That Christopher Cross song, Once in Your Life You Find Her. If you get caught between the moon and New York City. She gets that stuck in her head all the time. She had never seen Arthur, and so I went and I got it for her to watch. Huh?
The kids show, right?
No, not the kid show Arthur. The Dudley Moore drunken movie with I think Sue Lawrence, Olivier, and oh god, fucking Liza Minnelli,
That makes more sense.
and then Arthur 2 on the Rocks. And then there was the remake of Arthur. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Never heard it. Can't listen more because I don't want to. Beat's gonna yell at me.
For some reason that song gets stuck in her head at the time. For me, Born to Be Alive, which I only know from being in one of the last scenes in National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation.
That's a good movie.
It is not.
Vegas Vacation's not good.
No, it's not good
take
at all.
that back.
It's funny in certain contexts, and obviously make as many references as you want to Mr. Papa Giorgio.
It's not the best of the National Lampoon movies, but it is not the worst.
I've still never seen Christmas Vacation, which I hear is the best one. You just push your mic away.
Yeah, I did.
Is it good? Is it important?
I think it's a really good movie.
I've seen all of the other ones.
I don't think
I haven't seen the remake. I haven't seen the Ed Helms one, but
that one's not very good. I don't think it's as good as everyone like it. People think it is like the be all end all greatest fucking movie ever. I think it's really good, and there's a lot of like quotable moments and shit that happens. But I think you're doing yourself a disservice by not seeing it, especially if you've seen the other ones and clearly enjoy them.
well, I watched the first one a lot when I was young, and that was one of those things. It was late night fare, and Chrissy Brinkley.
Yeah, there's
and
that.
Jane Kay from 30 Rock and playing the cousin are like, I've got a boyfriend or you French kiss. That's not a big deal. Everybody French kisses. Well, Daddy says I'm the best. Fucking best line in a movie. And Rusty getting his first beer and just downing it. Like funny shit in that movie. That's like a seminal important film. I saw European Vacation a lot. Not a good movie, although it does have the guy. The Rusty in that one is the guy from Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, that's the guy that hit me up for drugs.
Really?
Yeah, he was at one of the horror conventions, and he kept coming over, and we would give him some beer, and then at the end of the night, it was like 1 a.m, and there was only a couple of us still awake, and it was very clear that like we were talking, because it was me and then my tattoo artist and the first person who ever tattooed me, so they now work for the same guy, so they were talking about work stuff, and he came over, and he was just like, "Yo, what's up, guys?" And they like kept talking, he goes, "Man, people only got weed around here," and I was just kind of like, "Jason, now is not the fucking time," and then he was just like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go to bed then." So when he realized that we did not have drugs for him, he did not want to hang out with us anymore.
That's too bad.
That story is a lot funnier than if he would have hung out with us. You know what I mean?
Hey, or blocked you on Twitter.
Or blocked me on Twitter, or said he was only drinking blood, Coolio. But yeah, show's posted. It's almost 8 o'clock for you, so it's 7 o'clock here. So, and it's probably 3 a.m. for Pete.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go hang out with my wife for a little bit.
I apologize to your wife.
For what? Ooh, I don't even know. I just let that one rip right in the microphone.
You're such a gorgeous human being.
Now. All right, man. Well,
All right.
It was fun. Oh, it's not even 2 a.m. Shut up, Beatmaster. I need to get a beat clock. A beat clock. It just tells me what time it is for beat.
That'll come in handy for that. What was December?
Beat your dick December.
Beat your dick December.
It just goes off every time you gotta rub out that next one.
Yeah.
Beatmaster, Levi, Ashley. I think I got everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Erica's probably long gone. Fell asleep. She's
Well, she got
old.
blocked. So what are you gonna do?
I didn't block her. She typed in all caps and Nightbot took care of her. But yeah. So as far as I know, same-ish time next Sunday. Unless something comes up. So
we doing the den? Is that what?
Yeah. That's what's in there.
Cool.
All right. See you guys.